Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Molly here, and we are doing my 2024 overview. So anything that happened that I found exciting, and we're going to reflect the things that I've learned and what 2024 was for me. So feel free to comment down below how your 2024 was and if there's anything that you learned and all that good stuff. I would love to hear it. I just find this stuff really interesting. So let's go along here. So for me, 2024 was a good year. It wasn't like my year as people were like trying to make it out to be, or like just, yeah, in general, but it was a good year. So I went to my first Comic-Con in 2024, which was so exciting. I always wanted to go to a Comic-Con convention, and I was able to. So and also too, over the summer I reached 100 followers on YouTube, so thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Please keep following along, and hopefully you guys are enjoying my journey. I really appreciate you guys following. And then I did hit and even surpass my reading goal this year. So my goal was to read 15 books. I read 20 books, which is just crazy to think about. And then also too, I tried something new this year, which was building Lego sets. I always find it so interesting how people do that, so I decided to buy a couple Lego sets, and I was working on them. So I did 2 Lego sets, and I have 2 this year coming up to use, so I'm really excited to do. So yeah. Oh, and also too, the last thing is at work, I got med certified, so I am allowed to give medication to our clients, which is just very exciting. I always wanted to do that and be able to do that. So yeah, I was just really happy to be able to do that. So that's just very exciting and something to add to my resume. And then there are times when I like to think of a word for either the beginning of the year, what I want it to be like, or like at the end of the year. And this time I actually thought of a word for the end of the year. So 2024 was the year of like experimentation. Experiment would be like the word. So like I was trying different things, like Legos, or like cooking new recipes, and just like experimenting with like my sleep and my sleep habits, just like tracking all that. So it was really like experimental year, and also to like trying new video games and all that good stuff. So it was just a year of experimenting is all I can really say. So it was a good year for it. I felt like I've grown a lot because of that, and it's just one of those things, like, you never know unless you try. That was one thing that I learned this year, is you never know unless you try. So yeah. So here are some personal things that I did learn in 2024. So the first thing that just whipped my butt was, everyone is a beginner at some point, so as long as you're having fun, just keep going. Just keep learning and growing as you do whatever you're working on. So that means, like, I was doing Legos. I was a complete beginner at Legos, but I learned to just experiment with it and have fun with it, and trying different ways to do Legos, like how to see it, because my mind is not a spacious mind. Like, I can't really comprehend space. So it was just interesting, and that was a really good thing for my mind to work on, is Legos. So I just really enjoyed it. So yeah, everyone's going to be a beginner at some point. As long as you're trying and having fun, that's all that matters. So if you want to try football, try football. If you want to, try a new recipe, try a new recipe. Or if you want to try diamond art, try diamond art. Like, you're going to be a beginner, but it's okay. And it's okay to ask people too for like advice if you're going to begin something too. So, just have fun with it as long as you go along the way. As long as you're enjoying it, that's all that matters. And it's okay to stop if you're not enjoying it. Like, I've stopped on a couple things I just did not enjoy. Like, I tried to learn crochet this year, and it just was not happening. So I just stopped. I'm a knitter because of the spacious mind. I'm a knitter. It's just easier for me to comprehend. But anyways, as long as you're having fun along the way, that's all that matters. And another thing that I learned this year is that it's okay to ask. So that means it's okay to like ask your friends if they want to go to a movie, or just like, if you're in the store asking a cashier where something is, they're not going to be bothered by that. I used to be so scared of asking that. So as long as you ask nicely and appropriately, that's all that really matters, because people will be like, oh, I can't because of blank, or oh, they're willing to help you. Oh, here is this item. You know what I mean? Or like, oh yeah, I want to go. You never know unless you ask. So it's just one of those things that I have learned. Is just ask and take it with a grain of salt. If it's a no, or like, oh, we'll go another time, just take it with a grain of salt because you never know unless you ask. And another thing is that I have learned is little steps along the way yield big results. So that is like what happened with my reading. How I read 20 books this year is I was taking it in increments. So I was reading like 10, 15 to 20 minutes before I was waiting for Starbucks Live to start on my phone. So I was just reading as I was waiting till 8 o'clock. So like I was reading probably like 8:40 to 8 o'clock. I was just like reading. That's how it worked for me and how I yielded those results. And same with like when you're decluttering your room or cleaning your room, you know, just little results at a time equals big results. Just take your time. Even working out for like 15 minutes is still going to yield results, and you're still going to build that habit of like exercising or that habit of cleaning, or you know what I mean? So just take your time and just take steps at a time, because that's all that matters, and that's all we really can do in life is just take your time. And the last thing that I have learned that I want to take with me is in 2025 is you're more likely to do something if you write it down. So, and this has been scientifically proven along the way. So if you write something down like, oh, I am going to clean my apartment, I'm going to clean this room, declutter this room, you're more likely to do it if you write it down. So don't be afraid to write things down as a to-do list and just keep going along the way and just checking them off, because you're more likely to do it than not if you don't write it down. And then same with goals. Write down your goals. Don't be afraid to, even if they're big, and break them down. Again, little steps along the way yield big results too. So, but yeah, just write things down along the way, and that way you remember them as you go as well. So, that's what I'm hoping to take with me in 2025, is just writing things down. Let's talk about finances. This is really interesting to me. So, I'm one of those people that I always get like spender regrets, or like I'm always like, oh my god, I spent money on this. It's like, oh, I need to stop it. It's okay to spend money on things that you enjoy and you're gonna get worth out of. So if I enjoyed a nice meal at a restaurant, that's okay to spend money. And also too, like if you're shopping small business, if that is one of your beliefs is to shop or eat at like small businesses, that's completely fine. As long as you are budgeting and enjoying how you're spending your money, that's all that matters. Another thing is that I've learned along the way in 2024 is you need to make your money work for you. So that means having a plan to pay off debt, having a savings plan, and just a budget is really important for your money. Because when you tell your money where it needs to go, things happen. It's crazy. And I never really fully realized this until this year. I don't know why. Like I always watch these budget with me videos or people talking about money and like paying off debt, but I never actually started doing it until this year, like thinking more of it. So yes, so if you are trying to like pay off debt, write it down, and you know, little steps along the way, and make your money work for you, such as paying down that debt or saving that money for like a house or whatever you're saving it for. Just making your money work for you is just so important. So yeah, that is what I have learned in 2024, and it's just crazy how fast it just passed away. Like it just flew by. I cannot believe it. It's just crazy to think about. But yeah, that is what all the stuff that I have learned and what happened along the way in 2024. It's just crazy. It was a good year. So that's all I can say. It was a good year overall. I really enjoyed it. And we'll see what 2025 will be like. You never know. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, friends.